Hello, 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 divine ones. Welcome. Today, the guides are going to be sharing a transmission that they're calling Aligning with Purpose. Align with Purpose. Dear ones, we are so overjoyed to make this heartfelt connection with you today. What is aligning with purpose? What is my purpose? This is it's like a commonplace thought that people have. What is my purpose? What am I doing here? What am I meant to be doing? And there's much friction and feelings of not feeling like resolved. Always wondering what is my purpose? And feeling like you have a bigger purpose and you're not living it. And wondering really what is there more than what is now? And what is the purpose of life? And what is my purpose in life? And we say that when you are thinking about this from a personality self perspective, of course, it feels very confusing because you could say I was Piper? I was a piper. They're singing this. So they're a piper, a popper, a painter. I'm all these things. Like I've been all these things. What do I do? Like you might have like gone to school for something or done something, taken courses, and then you're left wondering, what do I do now? Or you might have done something in the past and now you're not doing that anymore. And you're like, oh, well, who am I now? What am I supposed to do now? What do I do with the rest of my life? Or you might feel guilty, like I've taken this course or done this thing and I'm still not doing what I thought I might do. You might feel what you would call like all over the place. Like today I like to paint rainbows and, tomorrow I like to skip and, like you might feel like you're doing, today I like to do taxes, tomorrow I want to be a doctor, and like you feel like you're just doing a whole bunch of different things, wondering, well, what am I supposed to be doing? And when you are thinking about this from a personality self perspective, of course, it feels confusing. And it can be laden is the word they're using with like guilt or shame or like worry that you're not living up to some kind of ideal or some kind of like potential. And they say, dear ones, when you are willing to align with purpose, it means that you are willing to align past your thoughts, align past your mind. It can be very challenging because the mind is always thinking, isn't it? Of this and that, yesterday, tomorrow, and there is no like blank space in here. There's no real estate. It looks like there's no real estate. And we say that it is the realization that all these thoughts and ideas, all these houses that have been built on this land, we're going to call the mind and the thoughts. All these houses and these houses and buildings that you have, we're going to use these as like your thoughts and ideas. So of course it seems like there's no space left to build. But there is a magic place. Why is it magic? Because it exists right on top of this real estate. Right on top of this. You might say, there's nowhere to build, it's hopeless. And we say that actually right on top of this is a whole world that you have never seen before, experienced in this human life. You've not experienced it. Although some of you might be having a taste of it now, and some have had a taste of it in the past. And you may have a taste of this. Why? Because it is your birthright to do so. So what is your purpose? It is the willingness to align past the identity and past the thoughts with the truth of who you are. Into which there is a divine purpose. This divine purpose has been encoded in you, if you would. It's your unique vibrational signature. Some of you might call this your soul or your higher self. That within this, laden within this, is your purpose. And the reason you can't figure it out is because you are so heavily identified with the personality self and with all of these feelings of worry about who you are and who you're supposed to be, and the guilt and shame. They're showing me like guilt and shame about like not living up to a potential that you either believed you should live up to, or just like society believes that you should live up to, and you're not living up to this. And they say like all of this is like no, like you don't need to worry about this because you don't have to live up to anything. Be who you are. There is a divine plan for you. And the way to know this is to let go of trying to know it and let go of trying to forge the path, and to step into what you would call the unknown. And as we've said before, which is actually known to you, what seems like unknown to the small self is actually your deepest knowing. It's your deepest knowing, but it seems unknown to the small self, but it is always known. And so this isn't like you have to strive very hard for this. Your purpose is right here, right now. And your willingness to just move beyond concepts and ideas and beliefs puts you in the vibrational alignment with your purpose. This is your alignment with purpose. This is how you align to your purpose. And then your divine purpose flows through you. They're saying easy, like butter. They're showing me like butter melting off a piece of toast, like smooth. Like just like this. Because all that melts away is all of the stuff that is not you, and all of the guilt and shame. Don't try to say those two things together. All the guilt and shame melts off. All of these ideas that I should show up like this and I should do it like that, all of this melts away. It's like it was never here to begin with. It was just like like a manifestation, and you believed in it, and all of these thoughts and ideas about who you were, and all of this, like, yeah, they're really showing me a lot of guilt and shame here around just not living up to what your perceived purpose of life is. And they're really saying like this melts off you like butter, and it's like gone, so that you may know the truth of who you are, and your divine purpose flows through this. In this still point, your divine purpose is always here. And it is shining the light of awareness, or bringing your energy, which is your currency, to awareness, to being aware of what is beyond the mind. You see, it is all these thoughts of the mind that keep you precluded from knowing the truth of who you are, and keep you precluded from being in alignment with your divine purpose. So two things. One, we bring this short message about this. And two, we align to your purpose. And three, we give you what you would call like homework. And it's always just like optional. But we say, are you willing to put your energy towards slowing down, coming into some stillness, and coming into the present moment, which is now, and so you may realize your purpose and be willing to step out of all of the guilt and shame, hopeless feelings about not being aligned with your purpose and not knowing what that purpose is, or not living up to a standard. And any other confusion you have about, like, I could do like these 5 things, whatever they are, like I could take any of these paths, like which one should I take? And they're showing me like people always going like, I don't know what to do, like what one should I do, like what should I do now? And they're saying be, and this is it, as you be, as you be, as you be, and then you will know, because in being, you directly align with your purpose. That's it. It's really that simple. You've all been told that you need to do something and that you all have a purpose that you must do. But it really is that the purpose is to be, and in the being, you will know what the doing is. It's really like this. It's really this simple. It is in the being that you are informed of what the doing is, your purpose. It's a divine purpose. And so then divinity must be the one that informs the purpose, not the personality self. You see, we don't say that the personality self isn't divine, but it also isn't who you are at your essence, right? You have many layers, and the personality self is like, it is like a falsehood. It is a structure that has been created. Like you would build a playground. Like that structure didn't exist. And then one day you decided collectively there was the necessity of having a playground and you all must play this way. So you started building playgrounds. Then you all started trying to make your playgrounds bigger, better, stronger, and evolve them over time. But you see, you're still just playing. And when you step back into the present moment and you notice or observe or bring the light of awareness to the thoughts of the mind, you realize the thoughts of the mind are like the playground. And you realize that they have all been created, self-created and collectively created, but they never existed. Like we said before with the blonde hair in the previous message, it never existed. It only existed as like a solution to a perceived problem, a solution to a perceived need. Part of this perception is this perceived need, and this perceived problem is this idea that it's been like passed on through history, through time. And part of it is this. And that this, like that you must create this playground, you must create like your life in these ways, yourself in these ways, and your identification in these ways, is that you've all been told this, like historically. And that as you live upon the earth, your glasses, like we've said before, are distorted. So you perceive problems that are not necessarily there. We say, yes, the car breaks down and you cannot make it to work, and therefore, you might feel like your boss is going to yell at you, or you won't have the money to buy the food. And so we see how this is a problem, but we say that this is not really the problem. The problem is actually beyond this. This is like a minor problem, if you would. It's like looking at a watch and saying that the watch is a problem because it's broken. So there's like a cog. They're saying the word cog, but you could also use battery. That's like broken or not working. And they're saying this is not the actual problem. The problem is actually that you've all decided that it was important to wear a watch, to be bound by time, to be bound to this time-space agreement. And this is actually, if there was a problem, this would be the problem. Now, we don't want to say problem, but we are using this for you. Because you have created your whole world based on solutions to problems or solutions to perceived needs. Now, we don't say you don't need things. We don't say you don't experience challenges. but you don't necessarily need them in the way that you think that you need them. And your challenges aren't necessarily challenges as you believe they are. And it is up to each of you to be willing to go inwards to know the truth. The truth is not the small self's idea of this is my truth, I'm speaking my truth. This is a universal, one divine truth. And in this, solutions to problems and all of this dissolves. And the problem that you don't know what your purpose is, that also dissolves in this. It dissolves in this. So, now we bring the frequency and we ask you afterwards, are you willing to be in the present moment and to start like setting aside, they're using the words carving out, time to be present. It starts as like a practice, and it's a practice of presence and moves into a knowing of presence. So it starts as a practice, and we ask you, like, if you would call it like homework, like we use this word for you, and we don't like assign you anything, but we say this as like kind of like something you understand, and also it's kind of like a fun thing, like a homework. And to know the truth of who you are, and to start carving out time and making this a priority on the top of your list is being present, because through this portal of presence, you align with your purpose, you align with your soul in this. Even though you are always aligned, even though you are always in alignment with this, also you don't realize that you're aligned with it because of all the mind chatter and all of the identification of everything that we've spoke about today. So when you become present and this mind chatter falls away, you see the real estate that is existing here right on top of all the incessant thoughts and feelings of shame and guilt and everything else. There is a real estate, there is a space that is here. You didn't have to create the space. You just realize the thoughts are here, but you also see that there's something else here too. And the thing that's here too is you. And in the willingness to turn towards this and align with it, it raises your vibration. And in the willingness to be present, all of the thoughts and ideas and beliefs about yourself drop away or melt away like butter. Then in this case, and they're just coming back to it because they're saying to those who are like who identify as like a vegan or vegetarian, they keep coming back. I tried to like say, could we? And they say no. And they want to say this. Instead of, if you don't like butter, you can think about coconut oil in its hard state, melting, and in this way too. And all this goes. Simply like dissolves, like vanishes, and you know, or you align with your purpose because you are in the vibration of it. When you drop all the identification, you become lighter because you're no longer heavily identified. You become lighter, and that naturally puts you in alignment with your purpose. That's it. That naturally puts you in alignment with your soul. That's it. You're already naturally in alignment with it, but it allows you, that naturally allows you to realize it, realize your alignment with it. Okay, now we bring the frequency. You say yes, and we say yes, and we do this together now. Aligning with purpose, aligning with your truth, realizing this alignment exists, and simply and smoothly, all you need to do is be present, and like this melting butter or coconut oil, and Asakara, purpose is revealed. Inisu karasiya chikarasa. Easy as that. Iokorosa chikarasa karasa takarasa tokoso. Ini asakato sokiyamata shikiti. Rokti asakarasa koto sikarete karasa kotasai. Bratai si britia sanokoroso tokorasa. Inesakarasa kote sakarasa takoroso. Your heart, our heart. One heartbeat. Iakarasa tokorosa chikarasa. Aligning with truth, and your purpose, Tainai shai wa karasotororata sniataka la turakata shai brata sanasai akata sokora baktisi adakarsiti shia wakta sokora patakrisi. There is a seat. There is a seed behind your heart. A drop, a bubble, and an energy, a frequency, a divine signature, a soul is behind your heart. This divinity is you. It is here now. And in your awareness of it, is your alignment to it, and your purpose, your divine purpose, resides here. In you, as you, and is you, you think you are here, playing the part of you. This is divine. You are divine, playing the part of insert your name, and then when you take away your name, you are just left with the frequency of divinity. All that you need to know, ayakarasa, internal knowing, ayakarasa, is already known by you. There is an aspect of you that already knows, and ikanasa, your divine purpose, ayakoroso chikiana karasa takara, and now ayakoroso, you align, and akarasa, you remember your alliance to it and your alignment with it. And Asio Koroso Chikit has already done. Inikiana Koroso, and you remember. Enio Koroso Kiata Kiera Kotosoti Anashi Koroto Korosoti Amakara Sotoshu. Iniawataso Anasa Kasha Ia Aso Protosho. Asai Shiniata Sokia Taishu. And so it is. Yakarata sanoko anesi kya so shokyai. And they hug iniso karasa like a seal of this transmission. And as the koroti yakarasa harmonizes the energy, you may hug them back, or align with them in any way that feels authentic to you. Anakata sokia tisia wakata so si shaila kaina saikoti anaso tai so kai so ko sia shikoro ayakarasa. You are already home. Inia kara saya taya saya, safe in the arms of love. You are safe in the arms of love. You are already home. So it is. It has always been. Do not doubt it. So. Okay. Thank you so much to the guides. It is their deep pleasure and always. They are like meeting you. They're like ecstatic, and they're like meeting you or merging with you. Anasaya karasa in this knowingness of ayakoroso chikarasa, our shared divinity. Anasiya taya karasa chikarasa. So. Okay, anasaya takaraso. So. Okay, thank you so much to the guides for this transmission today, and to you, thank you so much for sharing in this experience with us. And as always, we're sending you so much love. Thank you.